In this video, we're going to take our workspace from this to this. So to start off, we're going to remove as many distractions as we can. So wherever you are now, you want to make your workspace free from clutter. And on your computer side, we're going to hide the files, the menu bar, and the dock to make things look very clean. We won't delete anything. So let's start off by going to our Apple, and then we're going to hit System Settings, and we're going to go down to Desktop and Dock, and then we can select right by automatically hide and show the dock. We're going to select that. So it's just going to hide it, but we could still easily use it or bring it back whenever we need to. This is just for a clean look. And now under menu bar, we see automatically hide and show the menu bar. We're going to click always, and we could still see it if we want to. And now we're going to hide these files. So we're going to open up our terminal, and then you can copy the command you see on the screen. It'll be in the GitHub repository. The link will be in the description to all the commands and files that you will need for this video. We will copy that command and enter. And now they're all gone here. But we can easily get it back with our other command. If we paste this in and we hit enter, it'll all come back. So we don't have to worry about that. So make sure you keep these commands saved somewhere. And it'll always be in the GitHub repository. Now let's work on the terminal. We're going to use a terminal with a little bit more commands and functionality than the normal Mac terminal. It's called iTerm2. And to start off, we want to download a package manager called Homebrew. This will help us to manage our files and folders and to install different files. So we're going to type in the command you see on the screen. So you can paste that. It's in the GitHub repo, and then hit enter. It may ask for sudo access. And now for me, I already had it installed, so we don't need to do that. So now we can check to see if it's installed by hitting brew -- version. And we see we have that installed, so that's clear. And now let's install iTerm2. So you could paste in the command that you see on the screen, or just type in brew install -- iTerm2. And I already have this installed as well. And now let's open it. So we could type in open -A standing for application, and we'll type in iTerm. And now we have that open. Now we won't need this first terminal. We'll be using this one. It's clear. And it looks like it might have saved some of my styles I already had on it, but this is not the full style. Now what we can do is we can customize this. So we could either hit in command comma as a shortcut, or we can go into this iTerm, and then we can hit settings. And then here we're going to go to profiles. And I already have a JSON for you to use for your profile. It's in the GitHub repository. So you can go there and install that and look it over first, because you shouldn't trust random people on the internet. And then we're going to go to other actions. We're going to import JSON. We're going to find the file. Here it's called tutorial-profile.json, and then we're going to click that. We're going to open that. So now we have it here, and we're going to click set as default in other actions. So we don't want this default to be the default. We want this to be the default. And now it's not going to apply yet, so we could delete this. And then if we hit Command T, it'll open this new style for us. And if you want to customize this more so, you can command comma, and as we can see, we can go into colors and we could change the color of this here. Oops, wrong thing. We could change the color to red or whatever we want. I'm going to choose black because it's going to make our background easier to see. And I also forgot we're going to change this background because that's going to be the thing that really makes our setup look great. So let's go into our settings, system settings. Let's go to wallpaper, and you can select any of these backgrounds, but I have my own that is in the GitHub repository if you want to use mine. So you'll go scroll down and then hit add folder. There we go. Let's exit out of that. We're going to use something called Starship, which is a prompt customizer. First, we're going to start off by going into our ZSHRC file. So let's type in vim /.zshrc. And now we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. We'll go over vim commands later, but for now, you could just hit I and then go all the way to the end. And then we're going to hit enter here. We're going to hit enter again, and then let's put a comment so we know what's going on. So I'll put in initializing Starship, and then under this we're going to hit delete, and then you could copy and paste the command you see on the screen right under this, and make sure that it's all the way at the end of your ZSHRC file. Even if you have oh my ZSH, it needs to be even after that for this to actually run. So now we're going to hit escape, and then we're going to hit :WQ to save. And now in order to actually initialize that, we're going to type in source and then the path, so ~.ZSHRC. Now that we have that, let's clear this, and this already is changed a little bit, but we're going to enhance this even more. So we need to create a starship.toml file. That's the extension. It's our customization file. So you could take the command you see on the screen and paste that in. It will both make the directory if it's not already there and create the file all in one. So let's paste this, enter. Now that we have that, I have a configuration file already in my GitHub repository that you can use, and you can look over it first. So we're going to paste in the command you see on the screen again. So stick with me, we're almost done. I know it's a lot. Paste that in, hit enter. It's clear. And now you can see why I wanted to have this background. It goes nicely with this style, which you could always change or update if you want to by entering in that file, configuration file. So let's do that. We type in vim /.config/starship.toml. And we can see we have all our configurations here, and it's actually pretty easy to use. All you need to know is that this format is going to tell us what is going to go in the prompt and in what order. So it starts off with the operating system, username, directory. It's going to go in this order. And so we have blind break disabled to make it more compact. And then for each one of these, we could customize the style. So username's here. Oh, where'd it go? Username's here. We have it shown, and we have the operating system disabled, but you could enable that if you want to, and you could customize what you want to. And this is background color, and so you could change this as a hex code. This is a hex color, And then also the username, you could change these emojis if you want to. And these directories have certain icons to them. And so you could play around with these. To learn more about the Starship configurations, go to starship.rs, hit get started, hit configurations, and then here we see that there's a character configuration, and then there's options that you could choose for each one. So it shows the format and then what the default is. So the default is symbol, and it gives you a description. And then we see that there's other options here, and then there's different variables that we can choose. And then we can scroll and see that there's configurations for different languages. There's Git and Java. And so if we click on Java, we could see that there's a format for it, the default, the symbols, and we could scroll down, we could see the other options that we have here, detect files, symbol, style, and you could play around with this to learn more about Starship. We can see that if we enter CD, let's enter downloads. If we enter that, we see that we have this little gear icon, and I'm actually using Git right now, so you'll see in the master branch, and that's it. Now you have a beautiful workspace to get started coding whatever you desire. In our next video, we're going to go into depth on what the terminal is, how to use it, how to be more fast and efficient. We'll go over commands and shortcuts. This will build the foundations for you to become an excellent coder and use any programming language. So until next time.